Alex Daddario.
Can you just look at my boobs?
I was not my intention. I didn't stare directly at them.
I feel like at them right now.
Now I did. Because you were talking about.
Now, Ed Tyll has just completed a tour of Europe as a stand-up comic, but I know Ed Tyll as a accomplished, skilled talk show host who last starred on Delaware 105.9 with the famous Dan Gaffney, who I begged. I said, you should do the morning show with your wife, Dan. And then, before that, he had many prestigious posts, including helping to launch Real Radio 104.1 in Orlando, Florida, which quickly became the #1 radio station in Orlando, Florida. There was an incident, Ed Tyll, that I, the creator of 104.1, the never credited creator of 104.1, remember that you did that showed us how an owner is supposed to act. Let me remind you of this, and let me get your candid reaction. Is that all right, Ed?
All the way. I love being here. Go. Yeah, this is exciting.
All right, here we go. Ed had too long a show. It was 5 hours. I don't know how the hell you did it. I don't know how anybody does a 4-hour talk show. It's like working an air hammer for 12. But Ed did it, and he seemed to relish it more than he should have. But then he was on for 5 hours, and it was the general manager of the station also happened to be the owner. And he also happened to be very young, and he got it. He got everything.
Mark Lass.
Mark Lass.
Yeah.
He got he understood the mission. And one day, Ed Tyll's on the air, and he starts screaming that, because he screamed everything. He started screaming that the mayor of Daytona Beach was a protector of pedophiles. Do you remember this, Ed?
There was news to that effect. This was not conjured up, but
there was news
to that effect.
No, you didn't make it up.
Right.
This was based on radio facts.
Yes, reporting.
And
yeah.
Yeah, you were reporting radio facts. So Ed's screaming the mayor of Daytona Beach is a protector of pedophiles.
Protecting.
And that went on for hours. And what you didn't know was that when you were done, the sales manager of the station stood in the owner's door and looked at the owner and said, "We've lost $50,000 because of what Ed just did. We lost $50,000 of retail business in Daytona Beach."
Wow.
Mark Lass looked at the sales manager and said, quote, "That's the format. You'll just have to make it up."
Oh my God, huh? Why? Where is that? What a moment. Greatest ever. And that's born in. Mark just got it, not because he tried to get it or he instructed himself or taught it. He just instinctively knew that this is a great gig. You want to be that radio station. Listen, again, you're the creator. You had the vision, but at the moment of launch, it's like at Canaveral, there's Mark savoring every second. And I can tell you, as you would tell me, how often it is the opposite. They're terrified of what happened, and you're getting yelled at like you've done something awful. And again, we should point out, this is news. I'm reporting, and it wasn't the sheriff himself, but it was even worse that the sheriff would harbor and protect that kind of individual as if something were more important than protecting his people. So a wildfire, and now we should really talk about us, right? As personalities on the air, we're very real. This is real. I mean, it's funny. I listened to your ad where you say "Merry Christmas" at the end of the ad because what I'm offering you is so great, and that's real. So you and I had the pleasure, and also, we've we've challenged convention. We were disruptors before we were together, and then, as you said, it was like joining some incredible, once-in-a-lifetime spaceship Real Radio 104.1, and you got us Jay Clark, got us Clark, you got us everybody, Russ and Bo, you got us Stern.
Right.
We were reveling.
We're talking about
radio.
Right.
Sorry.
We're talking about Real Radio 104.1 in Orlando, Florida. I'm talking to Ed Tyll, who is one of the founding hosts, also on that station at about the same time. I'm listening in my car one night in Orlando. And Erin's on, the Sex Talk host. What was Erin's last name? Remember that?
Erin. Erin. Passion Phones.
Passion
hi.
Phones with Erin.
Good evening.
Anyway, so Erin, who'd never been on the radio before in her life, but it didn't matter.
Right.
Erin gets a call from a woman saying, I have a problem. My boyfriend wants to have anal sex, and I don't. And I'm sitting there holding my head in my hands. And Erin says, well, a lot of my friends who don't like anal sex really enjoy rimming.
Oh,
and
boy. There you go. That's it.
I'm like, I see a 30 share.
Yeah,
I see a 30 share in my future. And son of a gun, she was number one in her first rating book. But then I have one more story. After that owner, and it became owned by Bud Paxson, which is a contrast, it was run by a horrible woman named Jenny Sue Rhodes. And however,
easy. I have a lot of love. She used to get her hair done on Fridays in Dallas, but stopped to see if I started trouble before she could go to the airport. So was she a terrible woman? Because I loved working with her. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you a really good story about her that's very positive.
Love it.
She did the same thing that Mark did. Ready? There was some guy, I think he was a dentist in some suburb of Orlando, who just was hammering us every day, filing complaints, going to advertisers, advertiser after advertiser, saying, you must get off this station, you must stop advertising on this station. He just never let up. And so what Jenny Sue did is she let you guys go on the air and say who it was,
right,
where his practice was, what he was doing, how he wanted to censor the station, and it worked. This guy was inundated with angry calls. Stop bothering the radio station. Do not harass the hosts. And finally, he calls up Jenny Sue Rhodes and says, you've got to make them stop. They're destroying my business. And Jenny Sue said, how does it feel?
Yeah. Wow.
And that was the end of him. That was the end of him.
Bravo.
This is like talk show host porn to hear management like
absolutely.
this.
You have no idea what this means. And I have to say, all right, so I'm going to give you a great anecdote about her as tight as I can. I got 60 seconds according to my clock. So here's the thing. She's working for the other station at JRR. And she'd fired somebody on the morning show for being crazy. So I go on the air and I go, this is crazy. Why is she doing that? This market needs crazy people on the air. They're fun to listen to. These guys are cool. They're not malicious. She calls in. She goes, you know, Ed Tyll, I'm listening to you. And one day I might be your boss. And I said, well, if, you know, right. And I said, well, you know, I love you, first of all. I said, listen to your beautiful voice. You're awesome. And I said, you know, you'd back me up. So anyway, we had a cute moment when she was across the way. So the day she's our general manager was hilarious to me, but she had the white Jag, and she would check the building before she went to Dallas to get her hair done. Love her. You know, I love you. I can't get over these visits are amazing. Thank you. I wrote a book about radio, and where else do I want to mention it but with you? It's called Hired Tongue, The Adventures of the Ed Tyll Show. It's on Amazon right now, $20. It's a hilarious read, 39 chapters. How about it?
Hired Tongue, Hired, Ed Tyll, Tyll. It's at Amazon. You have nothing to do. I know about your life. You're bored out of your mind on Thanksgiving. Get his book.
That's it. But you say Merry Christmas when you do an ad. Merry Christmas. I love you. Love you, Walter.
I'm sure it's great bathroom reading. Ed Tyll, you're the best. Thank you for being on Sterling every damn Sunday.